Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's another very cool Roblox game review. The game we're talking about today is Anime Dimensions, a game that actually has exploded for a reason unknown to me. It's totally not because it's an anime game. Yeah, we're talking about Anime Dimensions. That's pretty much it. We'll jump right into it. We're going to be doing this in a pro and con kind of fashion, where I just list off a bunch of things that I think is good about the game, a lot of things I think is bad about the game. Usually a typical review, you could say. We'll start off with, pros. There are not a lot of pros. I have a lot of negative things to say about this game, so we'll jump right into it. The game looks graphically pleasing. It's actually quite beautiful. The moves are well defined, as you might see in the gameplay footage. The characters actually look pretty good. I think characters could use more idle animations. Akaza has his own idle animation where he has his fist out. You know, he has his little stance. I feel like a lot of other characters could do well with that instead of just the regular Arthro idle animation. Graphically pleasing. We're gonna move on to the moves. The moves look great, as I already said. The moves are also extremely satisfying when you actually hit them. But sometimes there's kind of this void, like sometimes when I have my audio off, which is usually what happens when I have my, when I'm actually recording because I have music on, I'm listening, because I don't want to care about the game because the game gets really horrid in the gameplay. So things are satisfied to hit when they actually hit. When you're M1ing, the M1 animation looks really good. The animations are pretty good. Some animations are reused, but, don't overwork yourself. Unlike Dungeon Quest, which this game is quite reimagination of, unlike Emberthas, which Emberthas was kind of its own thing. This is a Dungeon Quest kind of copy-paste, you could say, but it's just animated this time, so that makes it 10 times better. It has a movement option. In Dungeon Quest, if you haven't played, I've played a lot of Dungeon Quest with my pals, there's no real movement option. It's just slow walking. Some moves give you a speed boost. I think this game could really use a speed boost kind of thing. But yeah, it has a movement option. It has a dash, which becomes quite useless. Yeah. It has no banner. It has no banner, meaning that to get your units, things are not locked behind RNG. You can just grind and get the unit. Isn't that crazy? A lot of other anime games could pick up on this and put it in the game. TDS did it. TDS fell from grace. Okay, TDS sucks now. Don't play TDS. Play this game instead. It's an anime game. The reason I think this game exploded as much as it did because it is an anime game. There are a lot of anime fans on the ROBLOX platform. The community, and I say that in quotations as a whole, likes these anime games. Every single time an anime game comes out, they blow up for a few days, I'd say, and then they die down. Hopefully, that's what this game has. Hopefully, it dies down, because I don't really think it's that good of a game. Learning the boss patterns is actually pretty fun. The boss throws a few lines, and that clockwork machine feel. Like you just know what to do, so you're just completely beating up the boss to death. I feel like that's the most satisfying aspect of a game like this. And of course, welcome to the cons. There's a lot of cons. There's a lot of them. Gem gain is really low. You're going to get no gems when playing. And that is a big thing, as I'll mention later on. Just like other anime games, the AFK is not worth doing. Don't shoot up your electric bill. Don't waste your PC's lifespan. It's not worth doing. You shouldn't do it. Don't stay in the AFK and waste your gameplay time, even if you're doing it overnight. It's stupid. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You'll come back and there'll be a few hundred, and a few hundred is way less than you need to actually get what you want. Now, as I said, this game has a movement option. Unfortunately, the walking is still too slow. Dungeon Quest has this problem. The walking is way too slow. I have to rely, this means that I have to rely on my dash move. Dash has a 3-second cooldown. If you don't know, that's a long time, especially in a high-action, do-or-die game like this. Half the time, the NPCs that are hoarding you will just outspeed you. 2 seconds, no time flat. That shouldn't be how it works. I should be at least just as fast as the NPCs, so I can at least get some advantage, so I can shoot in, you know, attack them, maybe shoot back out. And half the time when you're fighting a boss and you just like dash up to them, because, you know, I am an impatient player, you could say. I don't like sitting around for too long, so, you know, I'll dash in because the movement's way too slow. Maybe that's a part of the game's charm. And then when the boss actually attempts to attack me, my dash is not off cooldown, and I can't walk out of the way, so I just get hit. That makes me wanna do some angry things. Half the time, you have to be frame perfect with the dash. More than frame perfect, actually. You see, as I already said, you dash once, it's on cooldown, they just come out with another move and they slap you around. Hitboxes can be quite janky. Let's say there's this big red line, you got out, you're still kinda close to it. The micro pixel that is still in that hitbox, you're gonna get hit. By the way, if you're behind them and the red line isn't touching you, and you just punch, right? You're like punching them, you're M1ing, because a lot of times M1s are completely useless if you're not an NPC. Half the time, that attack's still gonna hit you. And health matters a lot in this game, because if your health drops to 0, you lose. Now, without one of the expensive characters, which is 16,000, actually no, 1,600, sorry, 1,600, if you didn't know, not 16. Without one of these characters, you kind of can't do anything. You can't do hardcore mode to get that extra card drop, which cards boost your health, which you need a lot, and boost your attack, which you need a lot, to do your damage. Meaning, hardcore is pretty much impossible, and it takes you an extremely long time to get one of these expensive characters, which, again, gem game, please, put it up. I don't want to give you my premium membership Robux in your stupid AFK. Half of the moves that stick you in a place for a long time, which if you don't know, will kill you, don't have iframes. I was playing Akaza, some of his moves stick him in a place, and he does not get iframes. He doesn't get invincibility frames, he just sits there and he gets pounded on while he does a little bit of damage. Please, give me iframes. Even Anime Mania did this right, and Anime Mania sucks. Now, there is a massive difficulty spike between the bosses and the actual weaker enemies in the dungeon. The weaker enemies in the dungeon, they M1 you a few times and you're dead. You literally drop down on the ground. They maul you, nerf their damage please, this shouldn't be allowed, and then I go to the boss and I take like literally equivalent to no damage unless I make a mess up with my dash, which happens to happen a lot. Either buff the boss's damage a little bit, make them a little bit harder, or we can just nerf the regular NPCs, because they shouldn't be that strong. I play Nightmare mode on the first freaking thing and I get mauled to death without dashing backwards 10,000 times, and even then they're chasing after me at high speed, literal Lamborghini speeds. They're moving freaking 100 miles per hour straight at me with the intent to kill. Do you understand how unfair that is? Now, overall, do I think this game is a good time? No, I don't think it's not a good time. The beginning, it's a really good start, I think. It's kind of easy in the beginning. It's smooth sailing, and then it goes to medium mode. You'll have a little bit of struggle. You can still do hardcore on the first medium mode, but as soon as you get the Nightmare, unless you have a high-cost character, you can't do anything, which disappoints me the most, because what else am I gonna do instead of sit in the AFK? Which I don't want to sit in the AFK. You shouldn't make me sit in the AFK. If you like the graphics, and of course you can play it for the graphics, but if there's really nothing there for me, I can't really do anything. It's kind of like with GPO. Okay, it looks good, but it's not really good. It's not really an actually good game. It's kind of just graphically pleasing. There's no bugs in it. Not in this game either. Should you play it? That's up to you to decide. If you like how it looks, and you like the gameplay somehow, if you're a pro gamer and you're an esports professional, give it a try. 100%, I bet that you can do it, unlike me. This has been the infamous Paul Blart on Roblox. Jamu Yed on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. See you later.